Hey guys, this is Ray from Stationary Games, and as promised, here's the second devlog after a month. I hope I'm on time, but I don't think that matters. What's more important is that we try to get as much done as possible and show you the good stuff. Well, basically the updates we have on the game. Before we move on and see some interesting updates, I just want to let you all know that we have a Discord server, so if you're interested in helping us build the game together, or if you have any cool suggestions, feel free to hop into our Discord server and voice them out. Link below. So, to be frank, the entire month of September has been dedicated to learning all the required stuff before jumping into production of Night at the Clownville. Hence, most of what is in this devlog would surround the theme of learning. Right, so with that in mind, let's see what we have done. So after the first devlog, I quickly jumped into learning Blender because that's what I think we would mostly use for the 3D modeling and animations for our low poly art. But the good thing about Blender, after a 30-day challenge, is that I can say it's pretty simple to use, or beginner friendly at least to me. But there's definitely a ton of resources for beginners to refer to, and I can assure anyone out there looking to master Blender, a 30-day Blender practice is all you need. Of course, at this point I'm no expert, but I think with a little bit more practice and with the production going on, getting good at 3D modeling for our game would be straightforward. So, if you look at a time-lapse that I have recorded throughout this 30-day challenge and the screenshots I've posted on our Instagram and my Twitter, you could clearly see the progress that I've made. From taking simple items off my desk to model in Blender, to following tutorials and recreating nice-looking pieces, and finally to animations, like this one. And to be honest, I actually quite like the process there, as a person who sits at the desk all day and code all day long. And to anyone watching this who's not really familiar with the team at Stationary Games, I'm mostly doing the coding and dealing with the Unity engine stuff. So I'm taking a pit stop for the code site currently, for this month at least, to get to know more about 3D modeling in low poly. Well, the rest of the team are more focused on the design, and they also took the time to learn 3D modeling. So let's just jump into some cool montage of 3D modeling by the team. We also took the time to change the crosshairs we had from the first devlog, because I figured they looked a bit weird as I took them from the internet and they didn't quite fit the theme I had in my mind. So after some touch-ups by Loxiang, who's doing the 2D UI design, we basically came up with a set of crosshairs that look amazing. But of course, the weapons that we've seen in the first devlog, they are not the final weapons as well, and they need some touch-ups too. And you guessed it right, so I actually modeled the weapons from ground up in Blender, from the baseball bat all the way to the rocket launcher. So there was a lot of synchronizing work between the 3D modeling of the weapons and also the crosshairs and also all the animations, so as to make sure they look great together. Now, by this time, it wouldn't be a perfect first-person shooter game without the player's hands sitting at the bottom of the screen, right? So again, I quickly jumped into Blender and made some low-poly hands. But then, I have already started doubting myself at this point whether I should complete the low-poly hands with animations, because that will take a ton of time, and with each weapon there is a set of animations, like the idle animation, the walk animation, run animation, reload animation, and many more. So the challenge here isn't actually completing the animations anymore, but it's more of a work of perfection, making the animations feel original and logical. But to be fair, this is the part of the game dev work that I enjoy. Small creations like this build up the entire game, and believe me, small tweaks here and there, they solidify the overall theme. Long story short, here are the animations. Take a look. So we've got the idle animation, equip animation, unequip animation, walk, run, inspect, land, well, basically all the animations we would expect from a first-person shooter. And I think the next step I'll have to do is just put them into Unity and inspect all these animations before moving forward. And that's going to be another story for another day, as it's going to be a lengthy process. But we'll get there, trust me. Hey, Future Ray here. So I actually have put these animations in Unity, and boy, they look great to me. Like, they took me a ton of time to manually tweak those animation points, so I'm not sure about you guys, but I think they're good to go for now. Check them out. So while all these were unfolding, the team had a little session, which we call it Teach Me Something session, where we gather together virtually and learn from each other by having each person share a quick tip or lesson based on a specific topic. We had our first session last Friday, and we spoke briefly on the principles of design, how the UI 2D design choices are made going this far, and also how code is integrated into game development and into the final product itself. So each person shared something useful. And fun fact, we are going to do this every single month, so this is going to be interesting. Basically, it was a night full of short pro tips, and I appreciate the team for doing that. I'm all for sessions like this as we make progress slowly and unveil the final story upon you. And which brings me to this, I have a question actually. So if you were giving a quick tip, be it a design tip or any tips related to game dev to a normal person, what tip would you give? Let me know down in the comments. So finally, while everyone was busy doing 3D modeling, I took the time again to plan some upgrades for the game. And this time, there's not one, but two upgrades actually. So there's going to be collectibles where players collect these items throughout the game and actually own them. So if you're interested to know what these collectibles are, definitely follow us on all social media to stay up to date with our progress. There's also going to be an achievement system for players, where players get to unlock different tiers like the number of kills, time taken to complete all missions, distance covered, kill streaks, and probably Easter eggs. And of course, all these mean that there's going to be a lot more work going forward. Hence, I'll have to keep tabs on when the next devlog will be. Otherwise, we might be too occupied doing development work and forget about the devlogs. But don't worry, I'll make sure the devlogs stay. So for now, these are the updates we have on Night at the Clownville. I know it's a little lightweight for this episode, but now that we are starting the actual production, definitely expect more footage and screenshots. Click the like button and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out. With this, I'll see you in the next devlog. Bye bye.